Oh, good morning, guys. I'm out on Kiosk Lake in the northwest side of Algonquin Park. It was supposed to be a 3-person trip. Kyle and Phil were supposed to come along. Unfortunately, life got in the way and they couldn't make it. But I wasn't going to cancel because this time of year is the best time of year, in my opinion, to go tripping. It's mid-September. It's still warm during the day, so it's on average going to be about 20 degrees during the day, so not hot, nice and cool, or at least warm. The water's still fairly warm, so maybe a swim, we'll see. But there's no bugs, and the leaves have just started to change, which is actually a little late than from what I'm used to. I thought it would be a little more further along, but that's fine. Gonna go in for 4 nights. Going down to Mouse Lake tonight, which is about a 12 to 13K trip. Some big portages in between. Longest is 1300. Tomorrow I'm going to head over to Arrabels. 2 big portages for that, 1700 and 1400. I'm going to spend 2 nights on Arrabels, and then I'm going to come out through Maple and down Maple Creek and spend the last night here on Kiosk. So come along, hope you enjoy. Main purpose of this is just to get out, but I'm going to see if I can get some fall trout. So in talking with the outfitter, so I rented this pack boat from Algonquin North Wilderness Outfitters, and it's a pack boat, 13 foot, so it's a little short, but it's more stable than the Keewaydin I had a couple years ago for my Hogan trip. So looking forward to it, see if I can get some trout. But the outfitter gave me some suggestions on where to fish, so we'll go with his words and see what we can come up with. Coming up to the old CNR rail line that crosses the northeast end of Kiosk. It's a no longer in use CNR rail line. They stopped running trains on it in the 90s, I think, early 90s. But this one goes all the way down through to Ottawa. Another access point further down is go through where Brent is, and then Acre on the northeast side of the park. Portage, there's some pretty hefty trees around here. That's a cedar. It's probably about 3 feet wide there. And then down at the end here, fairly massive white pine. Beautiful tree. Sounds to be a bit of a waterfall or rapids coming in here. come check it out. Time for lunch before this though, before tackling this. Old logging equipment. There. Suspension. I know down at the bottom of this, well, there's the wheels there. At the bottom of this portage is a logging camp with some of the buildings apparently still standing, so I'll have to check that out when we get down there. Machine of some sort. I don't know. It's busted up though. Plus probably a rubber belt. Maybe ran it. Well, on the last portage for the day, but somewhere I pulled out my big lens, put my little lens down in between my legs, and jostled around and got to the portage, and I can't find my lens. So I don't know, and I had to get out and do a lift over. So I'm wondering if I pulled it over and out it went. So I am now minus a lens. So if anyone's going through to Mouse Lake and finds a Canon 10-14 wide angle lens, it's mine, but likely if I did tip it out when it was in the lift over, then it's fallen in the lake and's gone. So a little irritated with myself for it, but I'll get to the site and make sure I just dump out everything and look for it. Maybe I tucked it in and haven't been able to find it, but anyway, on to Mouse Lake. Welcome to Mouse Lake. I'll stop for today. I'm gonna go around the corner to the left here. There's a campsite. There's two campsites right one after another. Hoping one of them's open at least. There's a nice beach apparently to dock at, so maybe go for a swim because it's still hot. So a nice beach landing site. A little trail up here. A bad site. A couple low areas down there for our flat areas. We can set up. Fire pit, a couple seats, big stone table to work off of. And an okay view. Should have a decent sunset, hopefully. Cheese didn't quite melt, but still pretty good. Nice and crispy crust though. Gonna go out for a quick paddle and a fish. The outfitter told me that this is a pretty good lake for speckle. Just had dinner, so not likely going to keep anything to eat, but see if I can catch something. Using, I've basically crushed the barbs on my hooks anyway, so easy to release. I'll let you know if I get anything. So far it's not going great. I've caught an old clamshell and a bunch of seaweed. Well, I can say I'm not skunked. I just had a rock bass. Not exactly what we're after. I didn't get anything fishing, just other than a rock bass, so it's a bit of a bust, but that's all right. Be nice to be able to catch something, so maybe tomorrow or the next day on Arrabels. I know it has lake trout in it, so maybe a lake trout would be good. I can get down with the dipsy diver I have, so now it's just going to be enjoy a little bit of scotch and sunset. Not a big breakfast guy, to be perfectly honest. I actually generally never really have breakfast unless it's like cooked and scrambled eggs or bacon on a weekend or something, but I will force down the granola, or as other people call it, squirrel sick. A little sprinkling of rain. Wasn't supposed to, but that's fine. It's hardly enough to worry about at this point. The bald eagles flying around this morning, scaring the loons up a bit. Pretty neat to see them here as well. Their population has bounced back incredibly considering all the effects of DDT on the eggshells in the 70s. But good to see them. Well, so much for the nice light rain. Cool how that birch is growing out and around that old stump. Very cool. Even more impressive is birch over top of this rock. That's awesome. Big tree too. Probably about 3 feet around at the base here. I was up into Big Thunder, but on Jeff's map, off to this side there's a falls. I'm gonna go see if I can see it, check it out. And I can just start hearing the falls now, so go check it out. Well, made it to it. That little falls was well worth it. Nice little bit of exploring while paddling and tripping is always fun. Not many people would probably bother to go to that. I know looked like there was some a lot of tag alders here. There were some tracks from other people who had been there before, but still pretty rough looking or rough to get to with all, but that's the fun of exploring. Beautiful big erratics along this trail. So this would have been dumped by a glacier years ago. Oh, I guess 10,000 years ago, roughly. There's quite a few of them around here. I've made it to Big Thunder. It's almost 11:30 now. Probably going to fish here about half hour to an hour. The outfitter said there is speckle in here. If I get one, there is a campsite here, so it doesn't look like there's anybody on it right now. So I'd have a quick shore lunch before tackling the next portage, which is 1,400 meters into Arrabels. So we'll see what we can find. Last portage of the day. We have to get this one done. I love how on the longer portages they do put in canoe rest, which is great. Much easier to get the canoe back on your back. fairly fresh moose prints on the trail, but unfortunately I didn't see anything. This is the other sign that moose are around. I was home for the night, or 2 nights rather. For Leonard is actually a decent spot to go on. If not, I may move on to a different site. The one directly across the lake that looks okay as well. Might be easier to get out of. So I did take that site. There was a bit of better landing on this side of the point. Got this huge, wide open area with great views of the lake. All the way down that end. There's a campsite across that point there. And I believe a campsite down there at that point, and then around the corner gets you into the portage into Maple. Huge fire pit, though I doubt I'm actually going to bother. I don't like doing a lot of fires just when I'm by myself, just it's extra work. Stove works just as well, but huge fire pit. Fortunately, the last people here cut green boughs, so shame on them. And a couple of good flat spots. Probably set up right there for my tent. Let's get cracking. 1, 2. Ta-da! Time for a little bit of tea. And then maybe a little something extra later on. So tonight I'm going to have this OTG beef stroganoff. So lots of people use this. I got this at a trade show a couple years ago. Meant to pick up more at a show earlier this spring. But he sold out before like 10 o'clock. Like a couple hundred meals. So heard nothing but good things, so gonna try it. Let you know. It looks pretty good. Well, good morning. Day 3. Light splattering of rain. Pretty quiet night. Did hear a cow moose a little while ago bawling down at the end of the lake. Just once though, so just making noise more than anything. And then there's the squirrel that's throwing pine cones down at me from the tree above me. A little bit of rain, bit of wind. Probably just going to chill out in the tent for a little while because there's no rush to get anywhere. First things first, coffee. usually have my coffee black, but it's technically a vacation. A little bit of Bailey's helps. So this is what I was talking about earlier with having a depth chart. So we're roughly here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but it's 15.2 meters, and then there's a deeper hole, 18.3, and it's 15 all through here, which is down across the bay. This is came from an Ontario website, but it also has what's in the lake and what you're allowed to keep. So there's brook trout, it's still open, brown trout, which I'm surprised is actually in here, and lake trout, and I'm allowed to keep 1 lake trout and 2 brook trout. So it has all the information as to what is in the lake. Oh, I guess that, no, sorry, that's the zones for the what's in, or for this area. So obviously there's no salmon and everything in here, but that's what you're allowed to keep. I have a conservation pass, so I'm allowed 2 brook trout or 1 lake trout. It does have a list, or did somewhere, of what's in. Okay, at the bottom here. So there's brook trout, bullhead, Cisco, lake trout, pumpkin seed, rock bass, white sucker, and yellow perch. That's what the ministry has claimed that's in this lake. So very valuable resource if you're going for a fishing trip, and like, you can print out the maps or look this up in advance and know what you need to get, or where you might be able to have some luck. No luck on the first pass through the deep section. I have to say it's wet and miserable out here. I think I'm going to take a break from it. Didn't even get a bite anyways. And there's a nice bracing wind from the north, so my hands are a bit cold. So I'm just going to head back and chill out for a while and maybe read a book for a bit. It's chilled still, so I'm gonna have some soup. Add a little beef jerky to it, so hopefully that will warm me up a bit. Otherwise, it's just a bland day. Came back from the paddle and just laid down for probably about an hour, read book, and had a little bit of a nap. But unfortunately, it's not really worth going out fishing. It's just didn't get any bites, and it's just cold and miserable. Not really worth it. That was nice. Trio loons just came by and swam just off the point, so I'll show you that now while I eat. Getting a little bit cabin fever, just sitting in the tent or sitting out by the fire pit. It's mainly pretty much stopped raining, so not going to bother fish, just trying to do a little bit of exploratory paddling, see if there's any wildlife out. Probably not, because like everybody else, or like me, they're probably just tucked away somewhere. So the top of that pine, there's an eagle's nest, so that's where they've been nesting on this lake. Got a bit closer, much better view of it. Apparently these things can be up to 2 tons. Alright, tonight will be a good night for chili. Got some dehydrated stuff here. That's looking alright. Of course, have to add cheese. Just because I have it, might as well use it. Alright, so I am here right now on this point. I did make it up and went checked out the portage. That's where the waterfall was that goes into Maple. So tomorrow, head that way through Maple. And down the series of portages, so 130, 805, 630, 130, and 190, and a 915. From here to mid-Maple, it's 10K. He's got 3.5 hours. Figure if I'm done in 5 hours to get all the way through here, since I'm double carrying. And then he has another 50 minutes back to Kiosk. I am supposed to spend a night on Kiosk, but with all my gear as wet as it is, I don't think it's worth it. I may just bail out early. In fact, that's sort of what I'm looking to do. And oh yeah, it's still raining. Eagle on the tree there. Looks like it is a much nicer morning today. Almost done breaking down camp for this morning. Just having some coffee while I'm doing so. Beautiful morning though. It's just gorgeous out. Hopefully it remains this way all day today. It'd be great. Starting out now. Beautiful day. Should take me 5 to 6 hours, I think, to get right out to Kiosk at worst. I think that's probably what I'll do. I'll just head out a day early instead of spending another night. Alright, first portage of the day. Quick 170 into Maple Lake. Last night I came by here and checked out this waterfall. Pretty little area. Nice quick portage though. I have a slight headwind right now, which makes me wonder what it's going to be like when I get to Kiosk. But I guess we'll see. But not too bad right now, but I can see it picking up this afternoon. Well, coming up to the first portage on Maple Creek of 6 today, yet to do to get out to Kiosk Bay. That was quick. Next portage. This is a pretty grueling portage, to be perfectly honest. I would not want to be coming the other direction. Yes, I'm going downhill, but it's probably hard to tell on this video, but this is probably steeper than your average staircase. Coming down here, it's slick and not very forgiving if you fell. And on to the next portage. 3 down. This one I definitely have to lift over. I have a feeling I'm about to get wet. Yeah, I'm wet. Oh well. Ah, crap. I've had it. comedy of errors. I gotta go. Had better days. 4 down. Five down. Woo-hoo. Number 6 done. Well, another trip in the books. I won't say it was a great trip. I would say it's just an okay trip. Originally it was supposed to be a trip with a couple guys, and unfortunately they had to bail out, and I get that. It's all good. The problem was I didn't prepare myself mentally enough, I think, for doing a solo trip. I just decided, okay, I'm going to do it, but I didn't plan it out well enough. I could have lightened my load a lot. That really took a lot out of me on the portages, because I think I had a lot extra gear. Day 1, losing my lens. I still don't know when or where exactly, but it was between, or it was just below Mouse Lake before the last portage of the day. And I think there was a lift over that we had to go over, and I think I must have kicked it over the side at that time. So very frustrated, just because A, it was one of the lenses I used to video, but also for landscape photography and nighttime photography. So very frustrating. Day 2, a couple of long portages were real slogs, and really just shows how out of shape I am, which is something I got to correct, obviously. And then yesterday with the rain and just a cold, mucky day, it was horrible. I just didn't get out to do anything until late in the day when it stopped raining, and then it continued to rain. At least last night it did clear up, and I think I did get some star shots. But and then today, just to get out, everything was going fine until I hit that beaver dam, and that was just a comedy of errors all around. So I have about an hour's paddle out to the takeout, so I'm going to cut the video, put this part of the video here. There may be a video portion of a waterfall outside of North Bay. Probably going to head into town, eat something really unhealthy, think about my life choices, and then I'll end with the video of Deshaney Falls, which is the falls I used to hike to when I went to college here. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. And again, not every trip is going to be a perfect trip. You're going to have the ones that are so-so, like this one. Anyway, thanks again for watching. See ya.